hello and a very warm welcome to the Question Hour show from the Parliament House complex, where we bring you important unstarred questions asked by the members of the Rajya Sabha earlier and the answers given by the government. I'm Kriti Mishra, and joining me is my colleague Vishal.
Well, thank you so much, Kriti. And let's take our viewers through these questions which were asked by the members on the floor of the House. And let's begin with the first question, which is by the member K.C. Ramamurthy. And Mr. Ramamurthy wants to know from the government how the Finance Ministry thinks that the recent rate cut of 25 basis points by RBI will lift confidence in the investors.
The government says that as per the Reserve Bank of India data, during the period which is 4th of March 2015 to 4th of April 2019, policy repo rates were reduced by 150 basis points on cumulative basis, and the weighted average lending rate on fresh rupee loans sanctioned by banks declined by 131 basis points. For the corresponding proximate quarter ending periods of March 2015 and March 2019, the year-on-year rates of growth of loans and advances of scheduled commercial banks in their domestic operations were 9.67% and 13.77% respectively, as per the RBI data. RBI has also stated that there are lags in which the banks adjust their deposit and lending rate in response to change in the policy rate, and the transmission is not always proportional or one-to-one, and further that there are some factors like maturity mismatch and interest rate risk that arise due to fixed rate deposits and loan profile with floating rates in banks, which impede full monetary transmission. The next question is also to the Finance Minister, and this question is by member Dharmapuri Srinivas, and he has asked whether the government has banned cryptocurrency in India.
Well, that's a very important question asked there by Mr. Srinivas, Kriti. And in fact, the Finance Ministry in its response says that there is no prohibition on cryptocurrency in the country. In fact, the ministry says that taking note of the issue, the government has constituted an inter-ministerial committee under the chairmanship of Secretary EA. The IMC has submitted the report to the government, and presently there is no separate law for dealing with issues related to cryptocurrencies. Hence, all concerned departments and law enforcement agencies such as RBI, Enforcement Directorate and Income Tax Authorities, etc. take action as per the relevant existing laws. Similarly, police and court take action on IPC offences. Further, in view of the risks and dangers associated with cryptocurrencies, government and RBI have been issuing advisories, press releases and circulars to the public on this matter. Well, the next question is from member KVP Ramchandra Rao, and this one is to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, wherein Mr. Rao wants to know from the government whether it has deregistered several shell companies throughout the country during the last 2 years.
The government says that the term shell companies is not defined in the Companies Act 2013. However, the government undertook special drive for identification and strike off such unlisted companies under Section 248(1) of the Companies Act 2013, read with companies removal of names of companies from the Register of Companies Rules 2016, amended Rules 2019, which had not filed their financial statements and or annual returns for a continuous period of 2 immediate preceding financial years. During the financial year 2017-18 and 2018-19, Registrar of Companies have removed the names of 2,26,166 companies and 1,12,797 companies respectively from the Register of Companies by following the due process of law. The next question is to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and this question has been asked by member Ami Yagnik, and she has asked whether initiatives are being taken by the government to prioritize family planning programs, especially at the state level, since the National Health Mission allocations are made as per the requirements submitted by state governments.
Well, the Health Ministry in its answer says that the family planning program is one of the major components of support under the National Health Mission, that is NHM. States have the flexibility to propose for family planning activities as per their felt need. The government has come up with various new initiatives like the Mission Parivar Vikas, new spacing methods, family planning, logistics management information system, etc., focusing on quality in family planning. Accordingly, budgetary provisions have been made and there has been an increase in family planning budget every year. The Program Implementation Plan, that is PIP of financial year 2019-20, submitted by all states and union territories were appraised and approvals were granted before the beginning of this financial year. Well, the next question is to the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and this one is from member Sambhaji Chhatrapati, and he wants to know from the government whether it has set an ambitious target of producing 500 gigawatt of energy by 2030 over and above 175 gigawatt by 2022 as part of the climatic commitment.
As per the Government of India's submission to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change on intended nationally determined contribution, a cumulative electric power capacity of 40% from non-fossil fuel-based energy resources is to be installed by the year 2030. The government is regularly monitoring the progress being made to achieve the target of 175 gigawatts by the year 2022. A total of 80.46 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity has been installed in the country as on 30th of June 2019, which includes 29.55 gigawatts from solar and 36.37 gigawatts from wind power. The next question is to the Ministry of Planning, and this one is by member Vinay P. Sahasrabuddhe, and he has asked about the number of Atal Tinkering Labs established in schools across the country since the inception of project under the Atal Innovation Mission.
Well, the Ministry of Planning has given a detailed answer, and it says that a total of 8,878 schools have been selected and 3,020 schools have been given the ATL grant in aid for establishment of ATL. On average, a school selected for ATL establishment has at least 400 students. Currently, more than 12 lakh students have access to ATL in their school. Each school is sanctioned grant in aid of rupees 20 lakhs over a period of 5 years as establishment and operational cost. Out of the total amount, grant in aid of 12 lakh rupees have been transferred as the first tranche. Till date, rupees 362 crores and 40 lakhs have been transferred as ATL grant in aid. And the next question is to the Ministry of Power, and this one is from the member Sushil Kumar Gupta, who wants to know from the government whether it has any plan to set up a power sector council to address the issues between the union and the states as part of the ministry's action plan.
The answer given by the government is a negative, and there is no plan to set up a power sector council to address the issues between the union and states as part of the ministry's action plan. The government further says that electricity is a concurrent subject under the Constitution of India. To improve the power situation in the country and ensure round-the-clock power to all, the Ministry of Power, Government of India has taken significant measures through various schemes. Ministry holds regular review, planning and monitoring meeting with power departments of state governments and also state power utilities to review various programs or schemes and to discuss important issues of power sector. In addition, power ministries conferences are also held on a regular basis. So these were the important questions and answers in today's edition of Question Hour.
We'll come back again with some more questions tomorrow, but after the break, our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh will take you through some questions in Hindi in Prashn Kaal. Stay tuned.